Talking all this trash and my feed's not even on.
Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Jason Bible.
Hot mics.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate, coming to you from the Himalayas. At least that's what's behind me on the green screen. There's Everest right there. Boop, right there. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk more about the retirement con. Retirement is poverty. You want to be broke and poor, go ahead and retire. That's the average American's retirement. We're here to help solve that problem using real estate as opposed to using all the other crazy stuff that's out there. My favorite punching bag over the last 2 weeks has been Bitcoin. The CBOE introduced the Bitcoin futures yesterday, I think at about 5, and the exchange promptly collapsed. So that didn't take long. It's back up and running. So for those of you who really just enjoy setting your money on fire without enjoying the heat that it puts off, the Bitcoin exchange for the Chicago Board of Mercantile Exchange, CBOE, has got their futures contracts up and running. In fact, I checked it this morning just for grins, just to see the volume and all that. It's fascinating. There's a lot of volume for January, but not a whole lot of March and April contracts being written. Gee, I wonder why. When you have that much volatility, nobody wants to touch it. So in any case, it's up and running for those of you who are crazy enough to invest in that stuff. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate. Oh, I also want to talk about what's going on with my Facebook page and Facebook Lives. I've gotten a lot of messages. Hey, Jason, what's going on? What's happened? All that sort of stuff. Here's what I could tell you. For whatever reason, I cannot do any new videos on my personal page. On the Right Path Real Estate page, everything works just fine. In fact, this show right now is being run live, video of me in studio, if you haven't seen that before, on the Right Path Real Estate Facebook page. Works perfectly fine. For whatever reason, I can't post anything video or Facebook Live related on my personal page. And this past weekend, like a lot of weekends when I've got some downtime, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. And next to the Khan Academy, it is the best place to learn stuff. That is YouTube. YouTube is fantastic medium to learn things. So I've been reading about upgrading some of our family's hiking and camping stuff. We're planning a couple of trips this next year, actually before the end of December. So we're doing a lot of neat stuff. In any case, been learning a lot of things on YouTube. And I had this revelation this weekend. And I'm watching this a couple of different YouTubers, and they're not even that big. But, you know, they've got 10, 15, 20,000 followers. They're getting 4,000 or 5,000 views per video. And I had this revelation, and that is when you look at the algorithm for live videos on Facebook versus YouTube, obviously YouTube does a much better job because they've been doing it a lot longer. So we've got our Facebook page for Right Path Real Estate. We have a YouTube page for Right Path Real Estate. I'm going to do just a handful of Facebook Lives whenever Facebook allows me to do that again on my personal account, but I'm going to move a lot of that stuff to YouTube, in part because it's easier to share. It's a wider audience. I think the algorithm works a lot better when people are watching videos by a subject and they get exposed to a number of different YouTubers or broadcasters, whatever the technical term is for somebody who's producing content on YouTube. So you will have to look for that page. I'm going to drop it on my Facebook page so you can see it there. But you're going to see that transition. So if you're looking for Jason's daily rants and some of that other stuff, it's on YouTube. So that'll be pretty sweet. All right, let's talk about the Great Retirement Con. If you want a great article, read the Great Retirement Con. It's posted on Zero Hedge. It was actually written by somebody else, and then somebody on Zero Hedge had gone in and made a couple of edits. So just type into Google The Great Retirement Con. It's on zerohedge.com, which is a very cynical website. And I'll tell you, it's changed in the last couple of years. It used to be a lot more finance guys in there. I think there's just a bunch more trolls on there now. But in any case, the idea that you're going to work for 40 years, probably not 40. Let's say you get out of college at 22, 23, work 45 or 50 years, 45 years, 67, 70 years old, and then retire, and retire wealthy is a pipe dream. It just doesn't happen. I mean, you're going to have to save about $2 million so you can make $5,000 a month. Oh, that's not enough? How about $10,000 a month? Well, you're going to need a few more million than that. I mean, the numbers just don't work. Most Americans are leaving college with a boatload of college debt, or their parents are taking on that college debt, which I always thought was kind of crazy. So the reality is that you can't save for retirement. You can't save for your kids' college education either. I see that all the time. Cannot retire and pay for your kids' school unless you've got a really great W-2 job. Most Americans don't have that. Heck, you get one healthcare scare. You get one, you God forbid somebody gets cancer. Somebody has a heart attack, a stroke. The treatment for that stuff is incredibly expensive. Let's say you get hurt at work and you can't do that career anymore. Let's say you're a dentist, you've gone through dental school, you've got a specialty, and you've been a dentist for 10, 15, 20 years, and then all of a sudden you can't do dentistry anymore. Hurt your back, you can't sit in those chairs anymore, you can't, lean over. I mean, it's any number of things. You lose your eyesight. Your police officer, you get injured, firefighter gets injured. I mean, what's your plan B? We had a real estate investor in here during Real Estate Investor Fridays. It was a pilot, and he was a pilot during 9/11. Said 9/11 happened, and there were all these rumors running around that Americans weren't going to take as many plane flights anymore. And he started looking around. He said, whoa, wait a second here. I only do one thing. Now, I do it really well, and I get paid real well for it. But what happens if that one thing all of a sudden doesn't exist? I'll give you one right now. If you are anywhere in the transportation space, you better be looking for Plan B right now. And what do I mean by transportation? Trucking, rail, airline. The robots are a-coming for your job. And the day it's going to happen, I mean, we've been talking about it for years now, but the day it happens, that's it. It'll be gone. Millions of people are going to be out of work. Once they get it figured out, they're getting close. They, as in the folks like Tesla, GM is doing some things. Google is obviously deep in this, and Apple has been working on it too. It is only a matter of time until that happens. And I don't mean just the guy driving the truck. Everybody thinks, oh, the truck driver is the one that's going to be out of work. That's not how this works. Once they figure out how to automate the truck driver's job, they're going to figure out how to automate all the way up that chain. It's just a matter of time. Look at the computer programming industry. How much of that has gone overseas for a nickel an hour? Now, I'm being a bit facetious there because it's not quite a nickel an hour, but it's a lot cheaper than American labor. And if you're so specialized, you've got to come up with a plan B. Oil and gas folks, I mean, y'all live this every 6 to 7 years. Market trends up, starts making a lot of money, peaks, and then all of a sudden they start all the layoffs. Of course, that's not from automation. That's just from market forces. But what is your plan B? What is your plan B? We know a lot of real estate investors, and some of them in our group, that are part-time. Flip a couple houses, buy a couple rentals, and then one day at the office, Hey, we're closing down your group. We're closing down your division.
2 minutes.
And they go, oh, darn. I guess this means I got to do real estate full time. And that's not a big deal. You've got your plan B. Just move into your plan B. Real estate could be your plan B. And what does plan B look like? Well, what do you want it to look like? We teach the 4 core ways of making money in real estate. Being a landlord, being a lender, flipping houses, and wholesaling houses. That's it. 4 core ways to make money in real estate. Teach all 4 of them. Do you want to buy rentals for some income but long-term wealth? Do you want to flip some houses, make money today? You want to wholesale houses, make a decent income today?
1 minute.
What is it that you want to do that's going to reach your goals? If you're working somewhere and all of a sudden you get downsized, you've got some different goals than if someone's trying to build wealth long term. And we teach all those things in Right Path Real Estate. This Thursday, we've got an event coming up. We talk about the 4 core ways of making money in real estate and how to build a real estate business with income and wealth. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. When I get back from the break, I'm going to talk more about part 2 of how to be poor. All you got to do is retire. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know, the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path
this
Real
is
Estate.
weird. I guess Facebook got upgraded over the weekend. I hate it when
As
they
a
do
real estate
this.
investor, you rely on your property
This is something
inspector
different
to
on
determine
my
the
side. I
current
don't know if you guys
condition
can
of the
see
home
it, but
and your
it's changed
potential
on my
return
end.
investment. Principal Inspections was founded by investor Jeremy Humphrey to do just that. Working from the investor's point of view, Principal Inspections will give you turnkey inspections that are high quality, affordable, and focused on information pertinent to investors while not clouding the report with unnecessary details. Founder Jeremy Humphrey comes from a family of real estate investors. He started Principal Inspections for investors because as an investor himself, he experienced the need for fast, quality inspections with information directly pertaining to property condition and potential resale value. Principal Inspections will save you time and money. Call Principal Inspections, 832-684-5516. That's 832-684-5516. Or go online to principalinspections.com. That's principalinspections.com. License number 21264.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are
1
still
minute.
available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hot mics.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Let's talk a little about Houston real estate. It seems some interesting things. There's a really long thread in the Houston Real Estate Investor subgroup on Facebook. And I want to address a couple of things as it relates to Harvey houses. Now, for those of you who listen nationally, just sit back and listen. We'll get to you here in a minute. Harvey changed the Houston landscape in a couple of ways. One is the flood maps are going to get redrawn, which is going to change the cash flow for a lot of landlords, and it's going to change the exit strategy for a number of flippers. We know that to be true. Here's the other thing, and I predicted this on the radio show shortly after the storm, and that is there are going to be some houses that, even though they were not flooded, are going to see a reduction in their value. That has absolutely happened. Let me explain that. Neighborhood in which there was some flooding. Whole neighborhood didn't flood. In fact, in most cases, most of the neighborhoods weren't completely flooded. Portion of the neighborhood is flooded. Identical house. One flooded, one not flooded. The prevailing thought for most realtors was, well, the non-flooded house will be worth more because it didn't flood. And I said, no, that is not what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. That non-flooded house is going to be worth the exact same or less than the flooded house. And people thought I was absolutely insane when I said that. Tom was looking at a deal last week in a neighborhood with one of our clients at Right Path. If you sign up at a certain level in our group, we actually go out and negotiate deals with you or on your behalf. So Tom was on one of these appointments, meeting with a seller. And it was amazing. Their house had flooded, and the house across the street had not. And the house across the street has taken almost a 20% price reduction post-flood. Now, people ask me, well, Jason, that can't be true. It is absolutely true. Here's why. The consumer, person who's buying a house, has multiple choices. So they go into a neighborhood and they see a number of houses that have flooded and some that haven't. And the conversation between the spouses goes something like this. Do you want to live in a neighborhood that's gotten flooded? Well, I don't know. Depends on the price. So those houses that are sitting there that were not flooded are absolutely going to be impacted by the flood. Here's the caveat, folks. Not every neighborhood this is going to happen in, but we're already seeing it in some neighborhoods. When I make statements like this, everyone thinks it applies to every single neighborhood. It's like, no, not every neighborhood, just certain neighborhoods. Here's the second thing that happens post-flood. People start fixing up their house. People's in real estate investors and homeowners and retail homeowners. So what happens when those houses are fixed up? Well, at some point they end up on the market. And because those houses are newly rehabbed, they look nicer than the non-flooded houses. So now you have a whole group of buyers that say, Well, I'm okay with one flood because Harvey was kind of crazy. And I'd much rather have a nicer house that's been rehabbed since the storm than to buy a house that hasn't been rehabbed and was never flooded. That you will see that dynamic play out in a lot of Houston neighborhoods. Now, here's an important caveat for all these predictions. It depends on the neighborhood. If you're in the median home price and below, I don't think you're going to see a lot of price movement, at least not right now. What does that mean? The median home price and below in Houston is bumping up against the affordability of these homes. Try and find a house or see how many houses you can find that go to good schools below $200,000. There's a lot right at 170, 180, 190,000, 190,000. They're up in Cypress. I don't think there's any left in Sugar Land. There's a handful of neighborhoods in Missouri City. There's a handful of neighborhoods in Katy. In fact, if the storm hadn't blown through, I don't know if you'd be able to get a house that's zoned to Katy schools for less than $200,000. Heck, we bought one that's zoned to Katy ISD. Before the storm, it was $185,000, 1,500 square foot house. I mean, it's just these good areas of town are just not below $200,000. So the storm may be the best thing for some families who are trying to get into really good schools that have really tight budgets. So I don't think you're going to see much price movement on those homes at or around the median home price. Now, the houses between the median home price and what I like to call tier 1 neighborhoods, you're going to see a lot of price action. And what is a tier 1 neighborhood? I'll give you my impression of a tier 1 neighborhood. These are the neighborhoods in which people would love to live in. Actually, people love to live in them, and when they retire, they never leave. Memorial is one of those examples, just right here by our office. Certain neighborhoods in the Energy Corridor. Some of these people built those houses new, and they haven't left until their health has gotten to such a point where they have to leave. And the prices have gone up in those neighborhoods, not only because the schools are great and the location's great and the city and a really nice section of the city is built around them, but because there's really not much inventory available. I mean, those people just don't leave. If they buy a second home somewhere else to retire to, a lot of times they keep the house here just because their family's here. So Memorial is certainly one of those areas. West U is one of those areas. Bel Air is one of those areas. Certain sections of Meyerland is certainly one of those areas. Certain sections of the Heights. So you've got these tier 1 neighborhoods around town that may have been impacted by the storm. And this is the only time they've been impacted by the storm. And I don't think you're going to see much price movement. In fact, up or down. Maybe you could see an increase in price. But I don't think you're going to see a lot of movement down. Now, if you're outside those neighborhoods and above the median home price, it's going to be the Wild West. Let's just be completely transparent here. It's going to be the Wild West. If you're flipping houses above the median home price and not quite in those tier 1 neighborhoods, it's going to be real different out there. And this thread I saw in the Houston Real Estate Investor Group, the original question was, hey, has anybody flipped a house post-Harvey that's flooded, rehabbed, put it back on the market? And there's a lot of people like, well, I've wholesaled stuff. Well, yeah, wholesale to a landlord. Landlord doesn't care if the house is flooded. Let me put it this way. Good landlords don't care. Because they're just going to cash flow the thing anyway, so they don't really care. But flipping those houses in between the median home price and those tier 1 neighborhoods that have been flooded is going to be challenging. And the reason it makes it challenging is because we don't know what those houses are worth. And we won't know what the house is worth until the retail market comes in, until a homeowner comes in and buys it. Cinco Ranch, I'm looking at you. Like, this is a great... So what are the houses worth in Cinco Ranch? That have been flooded. I have no clue. And anybody that tells you they know has no idea what they're talking about. Because you don't know until buyers start buying. You really don't. It's real easy for me to figure out what a house in Memorial, Bel Air, Westview, Meyerland is worth, even after it's flooded. Why? Because I can sell the lot, and we can put a mansion on there. Well, the joke is a McMansion, right? A 4,000 or 5,000 square foot house. We can put a McMansion on those things. There is an appetite for that. However, in Cinco Ranch, a $225,000 house, what's it worth? You're not going to sell. There's really no lot value to those houses. So what is it worth? I don't know. And I'm not singling Cinco Ranch out for any reason, but that's just kind of the reality.
2 minutes.
What about some of those houses in the energy corridor south of the Bayou in Ashford Forest? What are those houses worth? I don't know. I don't know. Will they just simply sit on the market longer? Or is there going to be a price reduction? We don't know. And that's really the question we're trying to get an answer to. What are the houses above the median home price to these tier 1 neighborhoods? What does that middle ground look like? That market has always been a really strange middle market to begin with because it's very fickle. I know a lot of people, you're hearing this the first time, but you're like, no, you don't understand. I live in a $300,000 neighborhood in Pearland, and it's always been going up. Or I live in a $400,000 neighborhood in Friendswood, and it's always been going. And it's like, no, not when something like this happens.
1 minute.
This is a really weird market to be in. And from a homeowner standpoint, you're only selling one house. From an investor standpoint, you may be selling multiple houses in a neighborhood if you're doing this business right. That's another thing. If you're doing one flip in Kingwood and one in Cypress and another one in Tascasita, and then we got one down in Friendswood, and then we got another one in Sugarland, you're not doing this business the right way. I don't care who you are. That's not how you do this business. That's a terrible way to gain any market experience or market intelligence because you're so spread out all across these markets. So the question I ask you guys is, has anybody flipped a house in those median markets that was flooded and has been repaired? I don't know of anybody just yet. We'll get back from the break. We'll talk more about retirement and real estate. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
Morning, Randy, Michael, Daniel.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you expecting to close
1 minute.
accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hot mics.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. One thing I absolutely love are stupid criminals and stupid terrorists. Just... Thank God there was a terror attack this morning in New York. Thank God nobody was, it looks like, seriously hurt. There were some people that went to the hospital. It sounds like for blown out eardrums and possibly a concussion. But this moron slapped a pipe bomb to a vest and went into, it looks like one of the tunnels there at New York, and it malfunctioned. He's alive, and he looks like he's in a lot of pain. This is great. It's kind of like the underwear bomber, if you guys remember that. He managed to just blow his shorts up, and that's about it. Love stupid terrorists. So that's a great. All right, let's get back to retirement. Just checking the news here on the break. So let's build a portfolio. How do we build a portfolio of real estate, especially in times like this where there are some unknowns out there? And I'll tell you, for us, we look at, and don't get me wrong, this is, I was out in a neighborhood, I'll just tell you guys a quick story. I was out in a neighborhood Friday, and we're developing a standard scope of work for flooded houses, with some exceptions. If they're higher end properties, obviously we have to do different trim, but for the most part, it's pretty standard what we need to do. We've seen a million of these houses now. This is the neighborhood in Katy. So we've seen this so many times now that we've developed this standard scope of work. And it's got standard, pricing on it. It's the stuff you can get at Home Depot. I mean, it's a very detailed just scope that we're going to use on every single one of these things. And the only thing that's going to change is how much of the materials and labor do we use based on the size of the house. So we were out looking at this house on Friday, meeting with our sales and our project management team to discuss, okay, well, Do we want to do this or we want to do this? For example, in houses that have galvanized plumbing, we're going to go ahead, whether it's leaking or not, and just replace the plumbing. Why? The house is already missing all the sheetrock, or most of the sheetrock. So punching a couple more holes in the sheetrock, even if it's a 2-story house, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't cost us much. However, replacing those galvanized pipes 5-6 years from now, when they do start leaking, and where do they leak? They always leak on the hot horizontal side. That's the only stuff that ever really leaks. So we just decided, hey, you know what? Let's just go ahead and replace it with PEX. Cost us a few $1,000, but in the grand scheme of things, size of rehab we're doing, and to forgo any troubles in the future, let's just do it. So we're developing this standard scope of work that says, if this needs to be taken care of, then we'll do this. If this needs to be done, then this. The other thing we're looking at doing, too, is if we see any stuff that even has minor termite damage, we're going to go ahead and replace that framing. I mean, what other time is better to do it? Do it right then. So we developed this standard scope of work on materials and labor. And so we're just going to start making offers. Just based off those numbers. Hey, guys, look, I bought your neighbor's house. I get it. You don't want to rebuild. You got your insurance check. You want to get out of here. Hey, I'm looking to buy your house. What was your insurance check for? Here's the number. Look, I just did a rehab on your neighbor's house to rent it out. And here's what the rehab is. I can show it to you. In fact, our rehab estimate is so tight, this is the same one we're using in houses in this price point all across the city. Boom, there's the numbers. So we build a system and a process for managing these flood houses, because here's what we know. We are in the very early stages of this thing. We're like 1 or 2% in. Like, this really hasn't started. You're going to start to see the springtime. It's going to really get started. Daniel says, replacing hot and cold side or just the hot side for plumbing? We replace all of it. It's not that much more. Like I said, we're talking about a few $1,000. Last house we did this in, it cost $3,300 or $3,500. That was almost a 2,600 square foot house. So it doesn't cost that much more to do the plumbing, especially now since all the rock's down. We got to replace it anyway. So developing these systems and tools when we go into a neighborhood to build our wealth and income. That's another thing I'll tell you. We don't go all across the city. I mean, we do to a certain extent, but we focus on certain areas of town. Focus on what we consider the best area of town. Best areas of town for flipping, best area of towns for wholesaling, best area of town for rental properties. There is a difference, by the way. There's a big difference in those 3 ways that you make money in real estate in regards to the area of town you're in. Now, a lot of people don't teach this because, to be perfectly honest with you, the reason most people don't teach where are the areas of town to do these three things, because they're not doing enough deals. But I can tell you there's absolutely just based off where the house is located, even if it's the same house, the same price point, you will make more money wholesaling that versus renting it. You'll make more money flipping it versus renting it or wholesaling it. Could be the exact same house, different neighborhood. And there will be a different outcome if you were to wholesale, rent, or flip it. Exact same house. Exact same trim, exact same floor plan. I'll tell you what's funny. When you do enough of these things, when you flip enough houses, have enough rentals, you'll walk into a house and go, have we bought one of these already? You will do rehabs on houses on completely different sides of town if that's what you decide to do. And one rehab will be the exact same as the other. Now, for most of you, that doesn't make a lot of sense. You want to focus on one area. Why? Depends what your goal is. Is your goal to build income or to build wealth? And you can have a little bit of both. But if you concentrate on one, you'll have a lot more of it. For example, if you want to use real estate as a retirement vehicle, best way to do that is with rental properties. So how do you build wealth with rental properties? Find the area of town that you want to buy rental properties in. Now, do they also provide income? Absolutely, with the cash flow. Absolutely. How about flipping a house? Can you build wealth flipping houses? Actually, you can. But they're primarily for building income. We have a number of folks in our Right Path group that are flipping and wholesaling houses, and then they're also building a little nest egg up to buy rental properties. Now, I will tell you, you can absolutely build wealth without any of your own money or credit. It's not easy, but I'll tell you, you can. However, to take advantage of the best financing, you've got to have decent credit and some reserves. What does that mean? You got to have some cash and you got to have decent credit. If you got cash and decent credit, you can get 30-year fixed rate mortgages all day long and twice on Sunday. And what does that mean? That is the least expensive cost of capital. That is the cheapest money. I always find it fascinating when I work with new real estate investors, how they put people with money on a pedestal. Bankers, private lenders, that sort of thing. They're people just like you that need to deploy capital. In fact, they're like used car salesmen. And if you're a used car salesman, don't take this a bad way, but that's just what folks in the industry think, right? Lenders are selling you used money, pre-owned money. That's all a lender's doing, selling you pre-owned money. And if you're buying properties as rental properties, I like to say that rental properties are not really real estate. They are, but indulge me for a minute here.
2 minutes.
Profitability in a rental property is based really in two places. How good your operations are. And by operations, I mean finding the deal, doing the right rehab, getting the right tenants in place, managing that tenant-landlord relationship, managing the move-out process and release process. If you're good at operations, you'll make good money in rental properties, being a landlord. And then the second most important factor for landlords is financing. You don't want to be a landlord who's borrowing 12% a year to cash flow rental properties.
1 minute.
You need the least expensive capital with the longest term you can get. And the gold standard in the industry is a 30-year fixed rate, 30-year amortized mortgage. They're at, 4.25%, 5%. You can call up Noble Mortgage and they can give you the rates for today. But you want that least expensive money for the longest term. And that's how you make money as a landlord. When we get back for the break, we'll talk more about how to build income and wealth and not retire in poverty. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
Thanks, Anthony.
As a real estate investor, you rely on your property inspector to determine the current condition of the home and your potential return on investment from an investor's point of view. Principal Inspections was founded by investor Jeremy Humphrey to do just that. Principal Inspections works from the investor's point of view, providing affordable, fast, quality inspections with information pertinent to investors while not clouding the report with unnecessary details. Principal Inspections will save you time and money. Call Principal Inspections 832-684-5516 or online at principalinspections.com. License number 21264.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts
They can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction through asset protection for real estate investors throughout the country. Our unique philosophy has CPAs, lawyers, bookkeepers, and estate planners with one common goal, helping you, the real estate investor. Check us out today at AndersonAdvisors.com. And don't forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are small returns
30
getting in the way
seconds.
of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hot mics.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Talking about how not to retire in poverty. America, stop retiring in poverty. Stop it. Stop. Don't do it. Here's the other reality. You can't save for retirement. You can't. It is impossible. Unless you want to live a life that you don't want to live. Now, this is a little bit different discussion. You're making a couple $100,000 a year. You can live well below your means, still have a great life here in Texas, and save a lot of money and build a monster portfolio. But for most Americans, that strategy is not going to work. Median income, I think, in the U.S. is about $60,000. I think that's about what it is in Texas. Median home income, household income, $60,000, $70,000, somewhere around there. When you've got those kind of resources, you got to be a little smarter. Fortunately, you can't make a lot of mistakes. Now, you still have to live below your means, can't buy the leased BMW every year, and you really shouldn't if you're making a couple $100,000 a year either. That's a different discussion. I've considered putting on a class on how to manage your household. As I'll tell you this, one of our secrets was, at least my wife and I, we were pretty crazy savers. So saved a lot of money. And then one day I sat down and looked at our numbers and I realized there is no way we're going to be able to retire with 80% of our income. Y'all know that's the trick, right? So the trick is you've got to save up enough by retirement to retain or make 80% of your income per year and pray you don't run out of money before you die. It's called the 80% rule. It just, and then there's, of course, the 4% rule, which, if I remember correctly, is, you withdraw 4% of your funds and pray that you don't die before you run out of money. The other problem is that folks my age, we scoff at Social Security. There's no way it's going to be there. This, by the way, is one of the reasons. We had a real fascinating discussion on Thursday with a couple of our lenders who are pretty sharp guys. So this is one of the reasons why they keep playing with the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, because so many government programs are tied to inflation. If you really look at if you really were to look at CPI,
1 minute.
If you were to look at non-government published unemployment stats and wage stats, like the stuff that comes out of Shadow Stats, you'd see the things are getting better, but they're not getting that much better. Oh, they're getting much better for guys like us because we buy real assets and those continue to appreciate. But for mom and pa homeowner that are just getting by day by day, there's really no help out there. That's why you've got to build a real portfolio. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to retire.
20 seconds.
Thanks for listening, guys. Tom will be on the show tomorrow. Build your team Tuesday. Thanks for listening. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
All right, Jay, have a good one.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Oops. Have a good one, Jay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Jason and Tom at rightpathrealestate.com.